Okay, Marlene, here we are at the end, and boy, have we come a long way. This is the most important part of the video, and I wanted to really stress this because the little detail that you do at the very end, the real fine lines and the little spots of highlights are what make the picture seem really all detail. A trick I've learned in all the paintings that I do, if you do one area, a very specific detail, then that will be perceived by the viewer as having the whole thing be in detail, when in fact all you're doing is just a few details that the viewer sees. So if you'll notice on the paint, okay, the paint has been sitting actually overnight since yesterday, and since it's oil paint based with water, it's almost like watercolor. So what I'm going to do here is go in and get some highlight colors, meaning I'm going to get some very fine detail. I'm using a finer brush. In fact, in your brushes, there are several. You can see that I've got lots of brushes, and even a very fine little pointed brush for you. But what you're going to do now is, now that you've finished this, come in closer if you want to see, is that we are now going to put just fine little lines. Fine little lines. And to do that, we get the material thinner, and we mix the paint so it's thinner and it flows easier. So here it is, flowing very easier. I'm doing a little red, a little green, and a little black, and I'm adding water. Now this is very thin, and I'm going to get both brushes out for you so you can see. Here's the little tiny brush and the thicker brush. Okay, so here we are with the tiny brush. All I'm going to do is come in here and do some very fine little lines. And when you see this there, you're going to say, wow, this is so cool. And it's just going to be a few areas towards the front that cause your eye to think that the whole thing is a lot of little detail. So take your time on this and make sure you don't have to worry about your jiggly hand or your nerves or any of that. All you have to do is put in a lot of little tiny lines. If you like the thicker brush, you can use that as well. And you can take the brush and make it go like a point. So I'm just adding a few lines of detail in several areas. I've left one area that's kind of smooth down here, which is where you'll put your signature. I'm sending you a special pen, or you can actually take a little paintbrush like this and do your name in very fine, like down here. I'm going to rub that out now because you're going to be putting yours down here. You might want to do Affelt, or you might want to do Marlene, but whatever you choose. The mistake I made was not signing in the beginning what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I have signed Cheryl, Cheryl Johnson, blah, blah, blah. The shorter, the better. I wish that I'd used Sherry all these years. So you might even want to do Lil. So whatever you want to do, you got to remember, you got to sign your painting. So I hope this works. If you can see, it turned out great. It's really pretty. It's a lot of nice detail. If you want more detail in the background, just come in and put a few more areas. Don't even worry about it. Just come in and just do little spots here and there, and that will add some color and just make the painting really nice and live. So enjoy. And as we say, happy painting, and I love you. Happy birthday. Hope this is the beginning of a great career. And thank you, Carol, for all the video that you shot and all the encouragement. Is this fabulous or what? You're going to get rich. I love you. I've got to show you one thing that's really important. You got to pick a couple areas like the stamens where the little things are at the top and put some extra detail in that. You want to put a dark shadow on one side and a very bright shadow on the other. So here we're going to do that. Now you come in and you just take your dark and you just put some dark on the sides of the little things that you want to pop. And then you come in and you put some little white highlights and just let it go ahead and stick out. If you notice, the paint is even sticking out, which is great. You know, people see that and they really appreciate the little extra detail. I'm just going to put a few little things coming down at the bottom, doing the same thing in these. Put a little dark on one side. Kind of look and see where you think the light is coming from. To me, the light's coming from this side and the dark is over here. So I'm going to put the dark on the back side. Oops, got a little green in there, doesn't matter. I'm just going to cover it up. And then I'm going to come in, take my white, yellow, and I'm just going to drop some little bright spots on here. Don't forget to put a few around the edge. And don't forget to do some detail on your other piece. Notice I've even got a little pink stripe in there just for a little contrast. Okay, a little dark stripe just for fun. So there you are. I think you're going to really have a good time. And this is just about the middle part, and then we'll just conclude, and you're just going to have a ball. Okay, I forgot one little thing I wanted to show you, and that's on the edge of some of the flowers. I'm going to just make a little dark black shadow and let the paint just kind of ball up a little bit, just so that it makes a little bit of edge. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white and let it ball up too. Just some little, you know, just making a little bit of dark. So, anyway, just little tricks to give it more detail. Oh, and I also just go ahead and clean up the palette. If I were doing a lot of paintings, I would leave one canvas where I just scrape up this extra paint and put it on the canvas and just make a colored nice area just for fun. So you might want to go get one of those little cardboard canvas panels, and just the extra ones, use that for that. Love you. Okay, there we have it. This is the painting and how great it looks on the wall. Make sure that you can see all the detail. I think it's going to be a wonderful showpiece, and you're going to do really well with this, and people are going to love them and snap them up. I think these small ones, 100 1/4, would be a great place to start. Love you.